What episode number is this?
Number 8.
8. That's a good number. It's like infinity.
Oh, come on, man.
It means we're going to go on forever and ever and ever.
Jesus. Okay. Estamos grabando ya.
Are we ready?
Sí, mira.
Oh, I didn't know that we were recording. Okay. I thought you would normally give me like the silent. You give me the 3.
Yeah, right.
You never gave that to me? Okay.
No,
maybe
never.
I imagined it in my dream.
Never ever.
Maybe we should start doing it.
I don't know if we're that kind of show, but we can do it.
Let's be all structured.
Let's start
and shit.
Let's start now.
Okay, ready, go. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to No Name Games episode Infinity 8.
Come on. That's cheesy.
Where we're going to talk about food.
Food.
Yeah.
Comida y videojuegos.
What did you have for lunch?
I had un sándwich cubano.
A sandwich cubano. Awesome.
Yeah, de Vicky.
Do you want it? De Vicky's. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's like
it was good.
The place to go to get a Cuban sandwich.
Yeah, it was good.
Do you want to describe to our audience what are the ingredients of a Cuban sandwich?
Oh, shit. ¿Cuáles son los ingredientes?
Well, you got
It's
ham.
a pan cubano.
Well, you got pan cubano.
Ham,
Right. Wait, first of all, the
pickles.
pan cubano is like a special thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's
a
not
pan
like
cubano.
it's not like French bread, and it's not like pan de morde. It's like
How would you define pan cubano? It's like a baguette, but it's bigger and it's
fluffier.
fluffier. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a crusty baguette.
Yeah,
that is
exactly.
very soft.
Mm-hmm.
But then don't play yourself and leave it out for a day.
Exactly.
Because then it becomes a baseball bat.
Baseball bat, definitely.
Yeah, but
blanca.
the day that it's baked is the day that you want the Cuban bread.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Vicky bakes their own bread, so I'm pretty sure they're good. So they bake their bread. So there's the Cuban bread, and what else?
It's ham. It's pork, pickles, mayo, and cheese.
Ooh.
Swiss cheese, I think.
Yeah. I think there's Swiss cheese.
It's
Is there
really
mustard?
Yeah, mustard. Yeah.
Yeah, there's mostaza.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so that's one of the best sandwiches. That's one of the best sandwiches.
It's incredibly good.
Yeah, especially
Not,
for
not
lunch.
not very gaming compatible.
I mean, I don't know. That's what we're gonna talk about. Is it gaming compatible?
It makes a huge mess in your hand. So
Yeah.
if you're gonna have a bite and then play, you're gonna screw your control. Not screw your controls, but you're gonna get them all dirty with mayo and mustard probably.
You're gonna have to have somebody feed you.
Yeah, exactly.
While you game.
or a sandwich stand.
Yeah.
So which you just approach it, bite. And
Oh,
then
like
continue playing.
something
Like a holder.
like a holder, like
Yeah.
a mic holder, but a sandwich holder.
There you go.
I think we're onto something.
Yeah.
What the best solution would be to probably cut it up into little bite-sized pieces, though. That way you can just pop them and go.
That's a good one too.
That's one of the things
That's
that
harder.
It is harder, and it takes a lot of setup.
Yeah. Which I don't think us gamers are very good at.
No. Tabletop gamers are better at it than video games.
Yeah, definitely.
Because tabletop games involve a lot of setup. Not just in the game, but if you're hosting a game, you want to have food there, and you want to
No, I have a question
provide
for
an
you.
ambiance.
Do you think that would you consider what kind of sandwich would you consider like a gamer? I mean, I'm going from this idea of the stereotypical gamer food.
Okay.
We're talking about Cheetos,
Yeah.
energy drinks, and pizza,
Yes.
basically, and Mountain Dew.
Yes.
But if you were to say a sandwich that's the gamer sandwich,
Yeah.
what would you say? I'm pretty sure the Cuban sandwich is not the one.
No, the Cuban sandwich is probably not the gamer sandwich. But that's a good segue. That's where we should start. Let's start. Our first topic, I think, should be what is the stereotypical gamer food? So you mentioned already some of them.
Yeah.
And this is typical gamer food for both video games and people playing Dungeons and Dragons or people sitting
Yeah,
around a board
definitely.
game. Because not only do I'm not just saying this, because I made it up. I've visited and been a part of many, many geek sessions, hourly long sessions, hours and hours and hours of these games. And I know for a fact that what you'll find on the table are one or some of these. You'll find.
So you didn't do research. You are the
I experienced
research.
it. Yeah, this is anecdotal, but over thousands of hours. right? So I think I'm an expert on this one. It's going to be some sort of energy drink, like you said, some sort of energy drink. I think at one time Mountain Dew was really trying to corner the market with energy drinks catered to gamers.
Yeah.
I remember when Halo 2, I think, came out, or Halo 3, they launched some Halo themed beverages. Also, when World of Warcraft, I believe one of the expansions was launching, they launched a blue bot and a red bot that you could buy in game and then fill up with Mountain Dew, and they would fight each other. That was a long time ago. So yeah, Mountain Dew's made some inroads, but there are other energy drinks, right? There's Red Bull.
Of course.
Now, if you want to go hard, and get in the zone, you drink a Red Bull, right? You drink a Red Bull to the face, cold, and then you just go, right? I mean, it's a first person shooter. You are in the zone. You are in the game.
It's like cocaine for a Halo.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely does a good job of focusing you in a short burst of time.
Yeah.
Of course, the downside is the crash. So, and that's of any sugary drink.
Of course.
Now you could drink sugar-free Red Bull, which I think is a good option.
That's the one I have whenever I have.
That's the one I have whenever I need to have a Red Bull, or the sugar-free Monster.
Yeah,
which is pretty good.
I have a good friend who used to drink Monster. He wasn't a gamer. He is not a gamer, but he used to drink Monster, like 3 cans of Monster every day.
Oh,
like,
wow!
Every time we went out, he had to stop and get a Monster can. It was crazy. I never liked Monster, but was his Red Bull without sugar,
was his urine neon? Was his urine neon colored?
Yes,
I would imagine so.
It was like atomic. Yeah, like nuclear.
It was nuclear piss.
Yeah,
that's bad. I'm sure he just peed right through his toilet. So that's like, those are the energy drinks. Those are the atypical, or rather the typical energy drinks. But there's other stuff that I've heard of gamers drink as well for energy, and something that might be okay. So those are the bad options. Some of the better, more healthier options are you can drink tea. Tea has caffeine in it, right? And it's not. I mean, if you sweeten it with honey, or you sweeten it with what is it, Splenda or something else?
Stevia or something.
Or stevia.
Like that. Splenda is kind of like sweet plastic that you put in
sweet plastic.
Drinks.
Sweet plastic has to be better for you than all of the stuff in a Red Bull.
Stevia, so, I mean, they're all crap, but stevia seems to be the healthier one.
Do you think we could just melt down some plastic and start selling it as sugar and people will buy it?
Well, there's stevia, or Splenda, and the other one. I try to remember the other one.
Sweet and Low?
The blow, that's the sweet and
that's the classic
sweet and low, and then there's the equal.
That's right, saccharin.
Yeah,
all that stuff sounds like it makes your blood toxic. All of it,
definitely.
So yeah, I mean, I guess maybe that's not the healthier one. So maybe honey. So some tea with some honey. Good. You know, tea has already caffeine. If you make chamomile tea, you know, is it gonna shoot you off your chair? No, but it'll keep you awake. You know, through a time when you need to be,
and it's healthier.
Awake, and it's a lot healthier. It's also
good for after you finish your pizza or your wings or your sandwich, because tea helps the digestive system to digest food.
Right.
And it's also always recommended that when you eat, we're going full blown here.
We are.
I'm not the right person with this panza to be talking about.
I have my dad bod, so it's okay. I think we're okay.
But you know that you shouldn't drink cold beverages with food.
I heard that. So what's the premise behind that?
The thing is that when you have food, especially with fat, which we usually do, if you have cold drinks, that will solidify the fat in your stomach or something like that.
It sounds like it. Yeah, maybe it coagulates.
Yeah, whatever word you said.
Yeah,
but it's something like that. So the green tea or the tea, other than the properties, which probably has like all this properties that help you digest and whatever, it's warm, so that helps. Also, it doesn't solidify the fat or anything you eat. So for your stomach or your juices and your shit inside, it's easier to convert it to shit, basically.
Oh my god. I can't wait. I think it's
sorry, guys.
probably safe to say that room temperature beverages are easier on your stomach. I experienced this firsthand on Sunday morning when we woke up, got dressed, got ready to go to the Miami Book Fair. Gave my son a bottle of milk that I just poured out of the fridge. It was cold. He drank the entire thing in like 2 minutes, okay? About 8 ounces. And then we stuck him in the back seat, and about 15 minutes into the ride, he just projectile vomits all the milk.
Oh my God.
So I was freaking out. I had to turn around. We had to come back home. I never made it to the book fair.
It was in the car?
Yeah, he threw up in the car, yeah. And I felt so bad for him, because after he threw up, he was kind of like, he's 19 months old, so he's not saying anything. He's just sitting there like, damn, I threw up on myself and I don't know what to do, And I'm like, Papi, don't worry, we're gonna make it. Pobre. So we got back home and I cleaned them up, and my wife, was able to take all the stuff off of the car seat and clean it. But we don't know why he threw up. But we feel like it was too cold, the milk.
Oh, really?
And then the driving in the car sickness.
Well, yeah.
So that maybe, and I've never really given him a whole bottle like that and then stuck him in the car to drive him around. So I think that's what it was. And he's perfectly fine now. He's not sick or anything.
Yeah.
But that's a great example of not drinking cold stuff, right? Yeah. Now, for me, I will tell you that the best drink you can drink if you're trying to stay up, and I've done this many times. I have a story to tell you about Cataclysm, World of Warcraft Cataclysm.
Oh, okay.
Where I stayed up, for like 18 hours.
I was like, what? Cataclysm?
Yeah, when Deathwing destroyed Azeroth, I stayed up for that, and the reason I was able to stay up is because I was drinking water. I was drinking water the entire time. Anytime I would feel drowsy or like not, not active enough or sleepy, I would stand up, I would pour myself a glass of water and I would drink it, and then I would sit back down and I would feel better instantly.
Oh, wow.
And I think I was also just really motivated to play Cataclysm.
But did you drink the water or did you pour the water on you?
I think it was partly both, and I'll explain what happened. So was
it cold water or temperature?
No, it was fair. It was cool. I wouldn't say that it was cold. I'd say it was cool. In the middle of me playing Cataclysm, and I was leveling up, I was doing really, really well, and I was ahead of most of my guild. So I was crushing it. But I became a little delirious, I think, at one point after about the 12-hour mark.
Yeah.
And I really was just on autopilot at that point. And I was leveling alone, kind of going through the zones by myself, not even paying attention to the story, just killing monsters, completing quests. I was like a machine. I was like, if he dies, he dies.
Yeah.
Like, I was just going into it. And I fell off my chair.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I was sitting on a chair that had the three, kind of like the one you're sitting on now. That it's got four wheels?
Yeah.
It's like a tripod with 4 wheels.
Yeah, it's like
or a four pod. I don't know what you would call that.
Whatever.
A thing with wheels.
Mm-hmm.
So
like an office chair.
It's like an office chair with wheels, right? It was basically an office chair. And what happened was I was leaning to one side too much.
Oh.
And I kept leaning, and I was leaning, and I just, for some odd reason, and I had I had wood floors that the chair swept out from the other side. Boom. And my shoulder went into the sliding glass door that was next to me.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So my shoulder went into the sliding glass door. It hurt a lot. Like I was in pain. I was sitting on the floor in pain. It woke me up more than anything else.
Better than the water.
And I started cracking up, thinking to myself, I think I must be the first asshole to get injured. Huh?
Were you online with your guild?
I was online with my guild, and
so people heard you during all this.
No, I have push to talk.
Oh, okay.
So all people know was that I just disappeared. And then
Manny, what do we do now?
15 minutes later, I come back and I'm like, hey guys. And they're like, hey bro, we missed out on this dungeon. And I'm like, I just fell. I fell out of my chair. And I hurt my shoulder.
What time was that?
Bro, this was like 5 a.m. It was like 15 hours into it, 18 hours, I don't know how long.
Jesus.
And I was hurt. And so what happened was I had to figure out a way to prop my left arm up onto the keyboard so that I could use the WASD keys because my shoulder was bruised and it didn't want to work. And then my right arm, was my mouse arm, so that was fine. So I kept leveling like that. I'm the first guy to get injured playing WoW physically. I'm almost certain of that. I don't know if anybody wants to research that. But injuries happen every day, guys. So be hydrated is the quote.
Oh my God, that's so stupid.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. What about you? Have you ever been hurt playing a game?
No. Well,
game?
Yes, actually, yes. I had my hand because I played Destiny, and the thing is that you have to press when you're playing. Now I'm playing on PC, but when you play on PS4 with the controller. Wait a minute. Computer went to sleep.
Computer.
When you play with the controller, you have to press the left stick in order to run. So it got very repetitive because every single thing I did, I wanted to start running, and pressing that button, that repetition, constant repetition, hurt my hand. But that's a more common kind of thing, like carpal tunnel?
Carpal tunnel, yes.
Carpal tunnel? That thing. I don't know if it's that what happened to me, but it, the description of what happens and why it happens was similar to me. It's a repetition of movement there, constantly for hours every day. Well, not every day, but every other day. And I still kind of feel a little bit of pain sometimes here, now and then when I kind of press things strong. So listen.
That's a click. Oh man!
So that's my left thumb.
So when
I move it,
when the podcast becomes like our full-time job because we're rich and we're making so much money and we have millions of people listening to us, you can claim accident insurance, workers' comp.
Yeah, of course.
Because you need to use that to play video games and you can't work. Oh no, don't do that. God, that sucks. Yeah. So you see that the pain we go through to play games. But yeah, so getting back to the food, again, what gamers need more of is actually water. And that's coming from experience. That's also coming from talking to a lot of professional gamers that have extended sessions.
You gotta be hydrated to avoid injuries.
You have to be hydrated.
Wait.
Somebody's car's getting jacked.
Yeah.
Now not just to avoid injuries, but dehydration slows down your reflexes, so you're actually not playing as good as you can be if you're not hydrated.
And it gives you headaches.
And that's for me the biggest thing. If I'm not hydrated, I get massive headaches. So I need to be hydrated. In addition to water, you have to get adequate fiber. Because here's what happens. We're very sedentary in what we're doing. And we're sitting down for a long period of time. So inactivity causes your digestive system to kind of like slow down. So it's important to once your digestive system slows down, your concentration goes to shit. That's basically what happens. And I can't say, there's no other way to say it.
That's so good.
Yeah. So
what a great doctor you will be.
Thank you. I should have stayed in medical school. So that's all important for your health.
What will be a good fiber?
So that's a good question. I mean, I think eating with a knife and fork is out of the question, right? So we need to come up with foods or talk about foods that we can eat with our hands kind of quickly, but not leave a fucking mess like you described the Cuban sandwich, because we know that the bread is going to be everywhere and the mostaza and the mayo is going to be everywhere. So some things that you can eat, like for breakfast as an example, like a high protein breakfast are hard-boiled eggs. You can do 2 hard-boiled eggs. You could do a green vegetable like spinach or asparagus, or you can do, you can't do this because you're allergic to it, but you could do a sliced avocado. Or a sliced tomato. You can do a sliced tomato.
Oh, that's good.
You can do a sliced tomato, some olive oil.
You know what I did? What I do
salt.
a lot of times, and it takes a little bit of time to prepare.
Mm-hmm.
But I would recommend to any gamer in the morning or at any time.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to eat while gaming, but you gotta prepare. You gotta have a little bit of it takes like 10, 15 minutes to prepare. But you get tomato and you put it in a blender.
So you get a whole tomato?
A whole tomato.
Okay.
You clean it with water, and you put it in a blender, and you make kind of like a paste. Not a paste, but you blend it basically. It's like a juice, but it's very thick, and it even has chunks of tomato there. So you put bread, whatever kind of bread you want. I use the pan de miga. You get a couple slices, you toast them. And then you take that tomato, once it's toasted, you put it on it's like a tomato toast, if you will. And then put a little bit of salt and a bit of olive oil.
That's it.
And you put a couple of them in a plate, you go start playing, and it's very easy to grab and have a bite and continue playing. Yeah. And it's very healthy. And it's very easy to prepare.
Olive oil is one of the healthiest things that we have in our diet.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because the way we use olive oil is so messed up. I mean, if you think about every Italian restaurant that you go to, what's the first thing that they give you?
Olive oil.
And bread.
Yeah.
And what happens? So you end up eating a lot of olive oil, and it coats your tongue, it coats the inside of your stomach, and it kind of like wrecks your taste buds a little bit. Yeah. And not only that, you're ruining your meal because you're eating bread. So I just find it funny that we usually start with the wrong things when it comes to most meals. If you go to Italy and you want to buy good olive oil, you don't actually go to the grocery store. You go to a wine shop.
Oh.
Because wine shops have the best grapes and they have the best olives. And what they will tell you is that, this is again from my travels throughout Italy, I picked this up, and I was able to go to some of these wine shops, and they were fascinating. One of the things that they will tell you is that you really shouldn't ask. I mean, you can do whatever you want. This is the United States of America, and it's a free country. And if you want your olive oil, the same thing as if you want your ketchup, whatever you want to eat your food, boom, do it. But if you're in a fancy restaurant, if you're in a nice, say you go to Tigre's house to eat, and Tigre's cooking for you, right?
Shit.
Then
I'm a good cook, though.
I know. So I'm saying, if you're gonna sit down and cook a meal for somebody, and they sit down at the table, it's kind of rude to ask for olive oil if there's not already olive oil on the table.
Really?
It is, because the chef really will decide how much olive oil you need on your food.
Oh, but that's too much etiquette.
It may be, but
If you come to my place, you can ask for whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, and if you come to my place, there will be olive oil, vinegar, and salt and pepper on the table, because I don't play that game either. If people want to drown their food in salt and pepper, that's fine with me. Go ahead, kill yourself. But
if you don't put a lot all the salt on the steak before,
right? Exactly. I can make a really salty steak. You know that. So getting back
does our audience know about that day?
No. So there was a day that I invited Tigre over to eat churrasco.
Yeah.
And I had gotten these really, really nice inside skirt steak pieces from Publix, and I had marinated them for hours. Okay. The problem was that I marinated them with Morton salt, which is very fine iodized salt, as opposed to what I usually do with sea salt, which are little. Sea salt is the big chunks, grains, and they're chunks. So you can be liberal with the sea salt, and it's not that salty. But if you're liberal with the Morton salt, it gets embedded into the meat. So the steaks came out a little salty, and I was salty about it.
Very salty about it. I mean, it was the entire night you brought it up again and again and again and again.
Right.
Oh, the salty steak. Oh,
and I had forgotten about it until now. So thanks, Mom. Thanks for reminding me of my failures.
We're
so
gonna do
breakfast.
a barbecue again.
We have to do a barbecue again. I have to redeem myself.
We have to do an episode while doing the barbecue.
Absolutely, we'll film it. We'll do like a live episode.
That would be cool.
That would be so cool. So I was saying these are some things you can try, right, for food in terms of healthier options, right?
And breakfast.
It's breakfast. So again, the things that people normally eat, high energy drinks, really sugary foods, Doritos, potato chips, candy bars. You want to stay away from all that. You want something that's a little bit more, higher in protein, really less carbs, and like I said, breakfast, 1 or 2 hard-boiled eggs with a vegetable or a sliced avocado and tomato. Now for lunch, what you can try that might be better for you is a turkey wrap, or even any kind of other wrap. A ham wrap, turkey wrap, and those are easy to make.
Yeah.
So you just get a tortilla, get some turkey. You can even get some salad dressing or whatever you want. Sprinkle it on there, and then your tortilla is basically done. Now, for dinner, I know this comes across as weird, especially coming from me. And then when my wife hears this, she's gonna be like, "Who was that took over your soul and spoke those words?" And I will say it was Mannifresh. So you should really, for dinner, fill your plate with mostly vegetables. And I know that's hard. That's hard for me to say.
For dinner?
For dinner. Because I want to fill my plate with mostly pizza slices.
Yeah, definitely. Especially at night. Like around 10?
Yes.
After 10?
Oh, yes.
That anxiety attacks.
Right. So instead of like a high quality protein, I want a cheeseburger.
Yeah. A cheeseburger, pizza, tacos.
Yes. Now you're talking my speed. And look, Taco Bell kills it with video games right now.
Yeah.
Taco Bell's $5 box right now gives you a shot at an Xbox One.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And a bunch of people have won them already with the $5 box. So they've given away quite a few from what I understand. But anyways, so yeah, don't eat Taco Bell. Go for high quality protein, organic chicken, or just chicken, meat, low contaminant fish. And then you can add some brown rice or some wild rice. Like, that's a really healthy dinner. If you have a dinner like that, you can then go play and you're not going to feel bad either. Because sometimes you have a cheeseburger and you sit down and play.
It's very pesado. It's very heavy, yeah. But one thing, these are things that I'm sorry I'm putting you on the spot right now, but these are things for us to go ahead and prepare and make. Cook.
Right, we have to make them.
But we're mentioning Taco Bell and all those fast food options. What if I want to order food? What would you say it's good for us to order instead of preparing?
Yeah.
I have a couple options.
Go ahead. What are they?
I usually do Greek food.
Okay.
Kind of Mediterranean food because I feel, maybe it's not, but I feel it's healthier.
You get kipes?
I get kipes.
What's a kipe?
A kipe, it's how do I explain? I don't even know.
It's just deliciousness.
Yeah, but kipe is not that healthy. Though.
It's ground beef with fried corn, I believe.
It's trigo.
Oh, it's wheat. But isn't it a cornmeal with wheat?
No, the wheat is the kind of the crust,
right? And
then inside it has the ground beef.
Right.
Pero kipe are not that healthy because they're fritura.
They're fried.
Pero you order, let's say, baklava. Not baklava. That's the dessert.
Don't order baklava.
Don't order baklava.
Don't tell me what to do. I want to order baklava. Sugar.
I'm talking about the shawarma. You order some shawarma with brown rice and some salad.
Yeah.
That's good. You can order also a wrap of that. I also do that. One other thing, I don't know if you know the olive, la hojita de uva, grape leaves kind of rolls.
I've seen them, but I'm not really big on them. But
they're green, small. Yeah. Those are very good. Very.
Are they filling?
I love them. Yeah. Well, you gotta order. You
gotta order.
They're more like appetizers or snacks, but they're very good.
I mean, you can also, like, if you want to order something, you can also order, like, a cheese. I mean, if you want to Uber something, you can order a cheese quesadilla. I mean, that's not terrible.
The cheese is a little bit heavy on.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
what?
Still better
if you order
than eating
Chipotle,
a cheeseburger.
If you order Chipotle, order a tray.
A bowl.
A bowl, yeah. Order a bowl
You can
instead
get
of
a bowl.
burrito.
You can get a bowl
And
instead of a burrito.
don't add cheese and don't add cream.
And don't add rice.
Well, you can add brown rice. The only problem with Chipotle is it has a lot of sodium.
Right, it does.
So I mean, if you're gonna do it, don't do it every day.
Right.
You just do it once in a while. But if you go that option, Chipotle or something like that, order a bowl.
Yeah.
You know, also you're never safe with the sodium ordering food. But Pollo Tropical,
Yeah.
it's also a good option because you can buy a
Pollo
breast, chicken breast with salad or corn, something like that. Tomato, balsamic tomato.
Their chicken is delicious.
And you have a healthy meal with protein and
Now, I don't know how many people know what Pollo Tropical is. I'm sure most of our people that listen to us know what it is. It might be a regional thing. It might be a southeasterly thing.
Well, there's when I lived in Texas.
Was there one there?
They just opened one when I was living
so maybe
there.
it's in the south.
Because I remember I saw the building was under construction and it's coming soon. Pollo Tropical. I was like, oh shit!
Pollo Tropical is a
going crazy.
phenomenon.
And when it opened, that was like, we gotta go.
The one in Miami Lakes is always full.
Yeah.
The drive-through
There's a couple
line
around here and they're always full.
The drive-through lines are always full. They wrap around. They have multiple people working outside taking orders. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but that's how good it is.
It's really good.
And it's also fairly inexpensive. I mean, you can get an entire meal,
really
chicken, rice,
inexpensive.
beans for like $5.
Yeah.
So
And
that's another good option.
It's
Por lo menos es comida,
well, it's not fried like
Right.
like KFC.
unless you get the fried yuca.
Well, you can get the fried yuca, but this is not the topic now.
No,
We're
healthy.
giving better options.
Don't get the fried yuca.
But Pollo Tropical, the chicken is not fried; it's grilled.
Yes.
So that's a better
Pollo
option. Also.
Tropical, chicken.
What else
grilled.
could be a better option?
So one thing that I've done before too, I remember playing when I was playing a lot of Halo, and I went up to Orlando to the Halo tournament. I had been practicing for like 2 days drinking smoothies.
Yeah.
I just drank smoothies.
You know what I'm
for like
doing?
2 days, and it was fine. I mean, I was.
Because I don't know if you noticed that Jota at the agency, he makes smoothies.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
So I kind of joined that thing and I buy the fruits with him. But he does it with protein.
Okay.
So
That's good.
it's kind of every day.
How does he
at
sweeten
4.
it?
No sugar.
sweetener?
No, nothing.
I mean, I
Just
would
the
still
fruit.
put a little bit of honey or
No, we
agave
don't.
just to make it a little sweeter.
We don't do that. But from that, because he not now. Now it's like every other day we prepare it. But from that, I got used to the smoothie. So now here at home, I bought like a little Magic Bullet or NutriBullet or whatever.
Yeah, the Magic Bullet.
It's called. And I buy my fruits, but when I go to Trader Joe's, to the supermarket, I buy like a super or I don't know. It's like a polvo antioxidante,
Yeah.
antioxidant powder or something. It's like the protein, but it's not protein. It's just vitamins and minerals and shit.
Right.
Antioxidants. So I kind of prepare every day with almond milk. Not a little bit, the whole thing.
Yeah.
So sometimes that's even my meal, and it's very good.
Yeah, I mean, I used to work for Glambia. I used to sell the protein shakes. I know. I'll tell you right now, the protein shakes are really good. But what's more important is that you already have a well balanced diet. The shakes and all that stuff do a better job of giving you the nutrients that you're missing when you're already eating all the things you should be eating. If you have a terrible diet and you start drinking protein shakes and taking all those other things, it's not as good for you. But it's still better than not having the nutrients or vitamins at all.
Oh, it's better than pizza, pepperoni
and it's better than a
from
pepperoni pizza.
Hut.
Not better tasting, but better
Not
for your
better
body.
tasting. Now, if you're gonna order pizza, what would you say? Go for the thinner one, I would say.
Yeah, go for the thinner
Maybe
one.
with a whole wheat crust.
Get some veggie options.
Yeah, instead of pepperoni.
There are a lot
veggie
of companies out there. I mean, at least local ones, and maybe we have some by the office, so we're lucky that use protein in the dough.
Yeah.
Like Muscle Pizza right down the street.
And they're good.
They're pretty good, or go for a really thin one. People, where we went the other day, People
Oh,
Pizza
yeah,
on
yeah.
Miracle Mile. Their pizza's so thin that, I mean, you can eat the whole thing and you feel like you just ate like a big cracker.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's
so,
true.
And
That's completely true.
that was more than enough for lunch. So yeah, so that's some of the food that you probably should eat compared to the food that you probably are already eating. I will say this: when I was a younger gamer, and younger I mean like in my teens, I didn't have to worry so much about what I was eating, because when you're that age, you have like this almost endless supply of energy.
Yeah.
You know, and you can go a day without drinking a glass of water and you're fine. But it does catch up to you. So, you know, if you want to prepare yourself for, you know, doing the best that you can at a game, or really just to have a good time and have fun, and not experience like side effects or being tired or whatever, you know, eating the right foods is important.
Yeah.
And also exercising, because outside of everything else,
I was gonna say that.
yeah,
Because I mean, we spend so much time just sitting in front. Like me, for example, and even you. I mean, we spend so much time at work in front of a computer, just sitting there.
yeah,
And then we go home, and if we want to play games, it's sitting in front of another screen
yeah,
without doing shit. So
yeah. So
try to keep your activities active.
yeah, I mean, you have to stay active. I'll give you an example that I also gave in a previous episode. So at age 13, Magnus Carlsen became the third youngest grandmaster in history, right? He won his first World Chess Championship in 2013 and has every year since. He's been the World Chess Champion like for the last 5 years. So to maintain that level of chess superiority, you might think that he just spends every waking moment on a chessboard. I would,
Yeah.
and I did for a while. I didn't realize
I would think that.
you know, what he was doing, but what he actually does, and if you ask him, he attributes his chess training, he actually splits it up into two things. Yeah, he does spend a lot of time behind a chessboard, and that's important. But his second type of training is he plays on a recreational soccer team and he does yoga.
He does yoga.
Yeah, and now the soccer games that he plays are like 5 hours. I mean, I'm sorry, a 90-minute game, right? So think about this. If one chess match that he participates in can take 5 hours, think about that. You're sitting in front of another player, sitting down for 5 hours.
Yeah?
That's a long time.
5 hours?
Yeah, I mean, that's like, I don't know. Try sitting down and doing anything for 5 hours. Okay? And
It's too much.
imagine the amount of physical and mental stamina that you have to have for that. So you need to prepare. So the chess games and sitting in front of the chessboard, practicing tactic, strategy, he prepares for it that way. But then his comment on soccer is that no sport challenges your endurance like soccer, both mentally and physically, because soccer players run like 7 miles in a 90-minute game.
Yeah, of
so
course.
that gets you into really good shape. And
It's crazy, man.
and
Like
all
7
of that,
miles?
I know. If you think about sprinting, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And there's sprints, and then you slow down, and then you sprint, and then you slow down. So it's a lot. And then, you know, a lot of something that we also give up as gamers in talking about food is sleep. So, you know, we have bad diets.
Oh, yeah.
We don't exercise enough, and then
We don't
sleep. So it's a recipe for disaster if you think about it.
Yeah.
So we have to actively take care of our bodies, take care of
Would
ourselves.
you say that's, well, you know, I mean, we gamers have a reputation.
We do?
And it's not necessarily good in terms of, you know, our own health. Those are very important points. I mean, I never realized, maybe that's a conversation that everybody has all the time in the gaming community, but just now talking about it, I mean, I'm like, wow, yeah, it's true. I mean, we don't eat well, generally speaking. I mean, probably there are gamers
Who do.
like us who do
Or
eat
try.
well.
Well, then look at this.
But,
look at the guy that we were talking about the other day that was dating the Mexican weather girl.
Oh yeah.
I'm forgetting his name
but he's
now.
in shape.
No, because he works out. So all he does is work out and play
Yeah,
games.
he's
That's
a
like
pretty
the perfect.
boy.
That's the perfect life cycle.
That's a balance.
You know, he's got it balanced. And at the same time,
we don't sleep, we don't eat well, and
Right.
and we don't exercise.
right.
So I mean, maybe VR is going to change the part of exercising.
Hopefully, hopefully we'll get out there. Pokemon Go has done something.
It's a recipe for disaster on your body.
Yeah, and here's
So
the
be
kicker.
careful, guys.
Here's the kicker. You winning or losing a game, a match, could come down to you being tired.
Oh yeah.
So
mentally.
like if you're games are lost or won in those final minutes and hours due to mistakes made because you're tired. So I mean, maybe sometimes playing at 5 a.m. isn't the best practice because you're practicing poorly. So I did a lot of karate as a kid, and I told you about it, almost 7 years. And one of the things that my instructor used to tell me, my sensei, was practice doesn't make perfect.
Okay.
Which sounds weird because you think, no, it does, because I practice all the time and I'm getting better and better.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Right, but the reality is practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanent. Because if you practice the wrong way, you will learn things the wrong way.
Okay, yeah.
So the premise behind it is...
That's interesting.
And I think about
Let's go into my social media thing.
You should, and I would document that one right away. But think about it. If you're especially with karate, if you're throwing punches the wrong way, if you're kicking the wrong way, not only could you hurt yourself, but then when you want to put it into practice, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's a little bit about food and sleep and exercise. But let's pivot a little bit. So that's food for us, right? The people playing the games. But what about food in games? Yeah. What about food in games? So what do you think is probably the first example? I'm going to put you on the spot now.
Yeah.
You put me on the spot earlier.
I have somebody in my mind already.
You do?
Link.
Before. Go back further.
Go back further. I don't know if I can. Oh, Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pellets, fruits.
Yeah. But
Ghosts.
he eats ghosts.
He does. They're delicious.
What are they saying?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Eat your fears.
Maybe they're saying eat your enemies.
Yeah.
or eat your competition. I don't know. It's weird.
Run away from them and then eat them.
Run from them until they think that you're weak, but stand by, a massive power pill. What's funny? We used to call, like my friends and I, when Chipotle first started getting popular.
Yeah.
We would go to Chipotle and eat a burrito, and we would call it a power pill. Because that's what it felt like. You eat that thing, and then you got like, oh, I'm good to go, man. I don't need to eat the rest of the day.
So you actually, on your conversations, it was like, oh, let's go and eat a power pill.
Yeah, so let's go and eat a power pill, and then we can do anything that we need to do. So Pac-Man was really, if you think about it.
Is he the first one? Yeah.
I think he's probably the first one.
Then you have Mario.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a fucking drug addict.
Well, even before Mario, I think Bo and Mario, him and his whole family, they just want to eat shrooms, and
leaves,
flowers, and what else do they eat? They drink potions all the time that don't even know what they are.
Yeah, play flute and travel in time.
Like they are on a massive trip.
Yeah.
They're on a nasty trip.
Yeah.
And they're Italian plumbers.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense.
It's awesome.
It's a drug addict Italian plumber that's rescuing a kidnapped princess by a dragon that's kind of a turtle or something like that.
He's totally a turtle dragon.
A turtle dragon.
Yeah.
So
named Bowser.
Which
is like a dog.
Think of that. That's a diet. That's a healthy diet that Mario has. I mean, but you were gonna say before Mario?
Well, I think there was. I mean, before Mario. So I was gonna say E.T. So the worst game in history or whatever. But you have to kind of run around the game collecting M&M pieces.
Yeah.
And that's the only way to really stay alive because it's. You start the game with like I don't know how much life, like it's 1,000 life or something.
Yeah.
And just moving around the map, you lose life. So you have to find the pellets and find them in time.
So you don't starve.
So you don't die, and then you just die. Like you fall in the little caves and you die. The game sucks, but
controllers are horrible.
The game sucked. Did I play the crap out of it and beat it? Yes, because it's just my nature to want to destroy and win games. But Did I enjoy it? I'm not sure. I don't even remember enjoying it. I remember saying, I'll beat it. I'll beat ET. I'll never play it again. Thanks.
Now, have you noticed that there's a lot of games that your health, it's actually, I mean, you get more health in the game by getting meat.
Yes.
Like a turkey or a chicken or
Yeah, I mean,
a cow leg or something.
yeah, I mean, okay. So according to the Daily Meal, they have a blog that has 8 video games that are full of food. So it starts with the birth of Pac-Man, right?
Yeah.
But then it goes to Burger Time. Do you remember Burger Time? No? Okay, so Burger Time was you basically play Chef Peter Pepper, and you have to walk over all the components of a burger, moving them onto a plate. You can't see it here, but it was a pretty fun game.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Never played it.
I mean, it was literally a game about food. So, it kind of takes the whole food as a power-up thing kind of out.
Now you have a game that's very popular about food. That's like you in a kitchen. It's Overcooked or something like that, right?
Yeah, Overcooked, I think it is.
There's part 2 coming out, or
I'm not
came
sure.
out?
I thought part 1 was pretty successful. It was the first really type of game where you're making lots of food. All
Yeah.
different kinds of food.
Yeah, it's like a game about
Being a chef. Yeah, that's so cool.
That's cool.
I don't know if it makes you a better chef. I think if I played it, I would just get hungry and stop playing it.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
I don't know. Then there was Diner Dash, which you try your hand at running and managing your very own diner. So it's kind of like a Sim City. For diners, yeah.
Oh, I remember in The Sims, could you have a restaurant or something?
Yeah, in The Sims you could own a restaurant, but you really didn't have too much control over. I think all you really could set is maybe the type of food you wanted to serve, but not the menu or anything like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah. Then I don't know. A lot of people probably remember Fruit Ninja.
Of course.
Fruit Ninja is the slicing app game, right?
Yeah,
so
it was fun.
Yeah, fruit is thrown up on the screen, and you use a blade to slice
it's a mobile game.
It is. So pay to win. Pay to win all those fruits.
Fruit Ninja Immortals.
Yeah. So yeah, those are some games that are like actually food games. But you mentioned Link. So what's interesting about Link?
It's interesting that the first guy that came to my head when you started to say that we're gonna talk about like games, food in games. I remember how much I had to cook in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And prepare like elixirs and actual food and save it and and you kill the enemies and you get food off of them. Sometimes they had like this little una fogata, like a fire cooking some meat, and you can steal it. I mean, you can have it. I remember how much I had to actually manage food in the game.
Yeah.
Because it's the way you get your hearts.
Yeah, I mean, it's you're replenishing health, and then some food in the game gives you extra hearts when you find out the recipes. I mean, the recipe system.
There's a lot of combinations there.
There's so many combinations.
I mean, you literally have to cook.
You have to cook the entire game. I mean, it's a necessary. You need it to pass the game. As a matter of fact, the people that passed, beat Ganon without doing any part of the game, like any of the labyrinths, or what are they called? The
monsters, the beasts.
Yeah, without doing any of the beasts, and only doing like 4 or 5 of the what are they called? The
shrines.
The shrines. I'm sorry, the shrines. What they did was they actually collected a lot of ingredients to cook food because they needed it to replenish health and to increase their defense and their attack power. And you can do that relatively early in the game because if you know the foods that you need to pick, the ingredients you need to pick, you'll do that. And that's why Breath of the Wild is such an awesome game.
It's such a good game.
It's so good.
It's right up.
Is it Game of the Year again?
Yeah, I would choose it Game of the Year again.
Even though it came out last year.
Do you see the nominations?
You were telling me about them. So they're the nominations for what award show now?
The Game Awards.
The 2018 Game Awards.
That's probably should be our next episode.
I think so. I think we're I mean, it's good to talk about food now because this week is Thanksgiving. So
I was gonna say.
we just have food on the mind.
Yeah.
We just want food, and
I'm scared though.
Why?
There's so much food coming up.
What are you gonna
my
do?
God.
Are you
Just
going to your
eat
mom's?
Eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably go to my mom's. I don't know. I'm in between. I mean, if I stay in Miami, I'll go to my mom's, which implies a lot of food already. And like
Right.
a regular day with my mom is a lot of food. But now Thanksgiving is gonna be just crazy.
Okay.
But I'll probably also. I'm contemplating going to Orlando or something like that.
Oh wow.
But I'm not sure.
Well, bring me back something from Disney.
Not sure if I'm going to Disney though.
Are you gonna have food and wine? That would be appropriate.
Food and wine? Is it going on still?
I'm not sure. I thought it was always going on. I mean, can't you just buy food there anyways?
Yeah. I mean, come
Can't you just buy wine there all the time? Isn't food and wine always happening? I guess.
What other game do I? Oh, remember? Have you played Monster? What's this game? The killing monster.
The zombie game?
No, Monster World. Monster Hunter.
No, I haven't played Monster Hunter.
So Monster Hunter, you have to have food, a lot of food, and you, because the thing is, every time you go to, I mean, I played it a little bit. This game, I didn't play it a lot.
Okay.
So maybe I'm not gonna just explain it the right way.
Okay.
So, audience, don't kill me if you are big Monster Hunter players. But I remember that every time before going to kill any monsters, any of the monsters, I went to this kind of, I don't know, this counter, if you will. There was this funny cats that they cook. So you give them the ingredients, and they prepare a meal for you, and they have even this very over the top animation of you eating that meal before you go and hunt.
Nice.
So there's a lot of food involved in Monster Hunter. You know, another game that came up to my mind that you have to manage food is Final Fantasy 15.
Oh, your food for your health of your of your
Exactly.
team, basically. Yeah.
And they even have like a camping place. I mean, you find this camping grounds in which you make a fogatica, a fire, and you actually cook, and you ask, Ignis, I think is his name, you ask him to cook some food for the team.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the games have nowadays some sort of element of returning health to you that's food related. But you know, World of Warcraft, the mages make the food, but you can cook too. You have recipes. Everybody can cook, so that's also part of it. It gives you buffs. That's also part of it. You can cook for your whole raid. That's awesome. But in between that, there were also some app games. Like, I mean, a lot of people played Candy Crush.
Oh shit!
You know,
yeah.
and Candy Crush is basically just red jelly beans, orange lemon drops, blue lollipop heads. So it's a lot of fun. Especially if you like to just see all that candy.
I can't listen to that music anymore.
Me neither. It drives me nuts.
It drives me nuts.
Yeah, it drives me crazy. But yeah, I mean, as far as food in games, I think that those are probably some of the best games.
Have you seen Red Dead Redemption 2?
I haven't. I mean, I've heard a lot about it at this point.
Yeah, of course.
There are a few people in the office that are playing it, and they keep updating me. So it's probably going to be something that I need to play. Right?
Well, I haven't played it. I'm not a big fan of those kind of games, although I'm probably going to get it eventually, just because I want to see it. But I've never been a big fan, a Rockstar fan. Anyhow, I do know that you have to, I don't know if you have to cook, but you actually have to eat in the game.
Yeah, I heard that there's a lot of like really lifelike things that you have to do.
Well,
Like you
it's
have to
basically
shave.
like a cowboy simulator.
Okay.
Not more than a game, but it is a game and it has a story and everything, but it's also like a simulator. I mean, there's a lot of their approach to realism. It's huge in the game. That's a big part of the game. So you have to shave, you have to sleep, you have to make a relationship with your horse, which, I mean, Zelda did in Breath of the Wild, but, you know.
Hardy Wild Greens.
Yeah. So you gotta build so it has a very realistic approach to everything. And one of the things is, if you eat a lot in Red Dead Redemption, I don't know if a lot, but you actually gain and
You
lose
gain weight? Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, man, I would probably become a fat gunslinger.
Oh, yeah.
Just be like, hey, man, I'm Stinky Bart, and I'm the fat guy that's gonna shoot your town up.
Yeah.
Castlevania, I just read, and everybody knows this. I'm just reminding everybody: when you break the walls and you get the wall meat, it's like a massive turkey leg. You know, those zombies can't fight you when you have the wall meat. Did you ever play Toe Jam and Earl?
No.
Okay, Toe Jam and Earl was a fantastic game. It was really like an open world where you're these two aliens and you're stranded on a bunch of different planets in the galaxy. Mm-hmm. And at some point, it rains tomatoes. And it's so fun because it's basically like tomato rain powers you up.
Oh.
The game is crazy. There are things in the game that I can't even.
Mario.
It is absolutely worse than. It's more surreal than Mario on a number of levels. We talked about Burger Time, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Egg is one of the most food centric. Or Burger Time is one of the food centric games. Yeah. And our favorite out of the trio of enemies is Mr. Egg. Mr. Egg is one of the bad guys that you fight in Burger Time.
Oh, remember Kirby?
Oh yeah,
he eats everything.
He eats everything. That's his whole premise, is to eat everything. So Kirby is awesome too. Fallout 3, the Mississippi Quantum Pie, made with flour, Nuka-Cola Quantum, and vodka.
The Nuka-Cola.
Yeah, so Nuka-Cola is like a really iconic.
Have you seen the most recent Fallout game, the Fallout 76?
I saw, the advertisement and all that stuff, but I haven't. It's getting crushed.
Yeah, the reviews are not very good. I'm not gonna play it. I've never been a Fallout player.
No.
I mean, I don't know. It's just a multiplayer game, so I'm not big into multiplayer games, as you know.
Yeah.
And it seems to be a very kind of like an MMO. They say it's not an MMO, but it's kind of like an MMO.
It kind of. I mean, where are we gonna put it? In terms of category, the closest thing is an MMO.
Yeah, I think so.
So, I mean, I guess it's up to your own interpretation.
But I guess Fallout also has some food there with the Nuka-Cola.
So, the main things I think we want everyone to take away from our podcast is try to eat healthier.
Yeah, definitely.
If you can,
I have a plug though.
What?
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily a plug, but maybe there's gonna be a part 2 to this episode.
Yeah.
Because my brother, surprisingly, because it's my brother, he's very into healthy food.
Awesome.
And
can we get him on the show?
And he's gonna start his own. I don't know if it's gonna be an Instagram channel or a YouTube channel or something like that. But he's gonna start his own thing about food. And I already told him, hey, you should come to the show. We should do an episode with you. So yeah, just wanted to let everybody know that probably we're gonna have a part 2 of this topic with my brother, talking about maybe recommending us some stuff to, easy kind of stuff to make and to eat while we are enjoying our games.
One thing I would maybe challenge him with early on, now that you've told me this and you can relay this to him, how can we make wall meat for ourselves? Castlevania wall meat. Like, what are the ingredients that we need to make this and make it healthy?
For sure, you need a wall.
Yeah, we need a wall, we need a whip, and we need lots of turkey, I think. Again, yeah, turkey on the brain, man. Thanksgiving right around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, try to eat as healthy as you possibly can. Everybody's going to slip, and you got cheat days, and, there's times where you just want to drink a Mountain Dew, sure. But do try to do a better job of hydrating yourself, I think, is probably the most important thing. Get some exercise. Get some sunlight. Go outside. Walk around.
Yeah.
Breathe fresh air.
Vitamin E.
Vitamin D. D. Vitamin D. But vitamin E, why not?
No,
get all the vitamins in your body. And then, have a balanced diet if you can. The turkey wrap, again, is really good for lunch. 1 or 2 hard-boiled eggs for breakfast is really good. And then as far as, the best food in games, I think Breath of the Wild takes the cake, man. I mean, again, the cooking system is just so robust.
It's just so good.
It's so impactful to the game. Mm-hmm. Sure, you can argue that a lot of other games have food systems that are just as important to the success, but never so much as important to to the success of one individual character. As
I think in Breath of the Wild, it's so entangled with the actual mechanics of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only way to heal yourself, first of all, other than fairies.
It's not only a thing in the game.
Right. It's
not a gimmick.
Right.
That's probably where I'm going. It's not just a gimmick of, oh, you can cook and you can have more powers if you eat this or that.
Right.
No, it's actual mechanics of the game, the cooking system.
And how rewarding was it when you put together that eyeball and that and that and that vegetable and those hardy wild greens to make an elixir.
You're gonna mix a monster part with what? With something else.
Yeah, with like a vegetable.
Yeah, with any fruit or
any fruit or grain.
Yeah, that's so good.
Or you can mix it with like a tail.
Yeah,
and you get mysterious, dubious food, which, by the way, still gives you health.
Yeah,
it's you don't even know what it is.
I remember I used to get a lot of parts from animals that were had heat or something, or fire, were fire animals. So you
the fire keys, right? Like
so you put all the parts there with some fruits that are like spicy food and shit. And you'll get this highly effective heat elixir of that recipe that will give you a lot more resistance to cold weather.
You could basically run through the cold section naked.
Exactly.
And you're good.
It's so good.
Yeah. I'm going to need that because not for Miami. I'm going to need the cold one.
Yeah.
So that wraps up our episode for this week. We're going to come at you again next week, maybe a little bit sooner if we can. This week is a short week for us with Thanksgiving and all.
Yeah. But sorry guys, we didn't make it last week.
Yeah, we didn't make it last week, but it's been a crazy ride so far. So again, thanks for joining us. This is Mannifresh.
Happy Thanksgiving.
And Efcos, happy Thanksgiving.
Peace.
Arroz con guandule.